Hey there. You must be Billy. I'm
Late.
Melissa.
Our hardest part's not going crazy. You not believe the shit you start seeing out here after a whole month alone.
Hi, I'm Sophia Jessica, and this is Angel, and welcome to the fan carpet.
Hey Trent, how you doing?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, doing well, thanks. All right, so it is a pleasure to speak to you. I spoke to Megan the other week. She's lovely. She's a lovely woman too.
I agree.
Yeah, and so talented. I can't wait to see her short film. But or not, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I agree. It was and I actually had a really small role in that, and it was a lot of fun.
All right, awesome. Okay. So if we go back to the beginning, was there a defining moment for you to get into the industry?
Yeah, it's tough to. I think there's been a few defining moments along the journey. I think ever since I was a little kid, I I dreamt of being an actor in movies. I loved movies like Back to the Future and Terminator 1 and 2. And yeah, I found myself in fantasy often sort of pretending I was in those movies and like emulating the like play violence of Terminator and like getting into skateboarding because Marty McFly made it look so cool and playing guitar and all that stuff. So like all the things that I sort of became interested in as an artist were sort of shown to me in movies. So really as a child, I mean, I can truly say I am living my dreams. I'm doing everything I wanted to do as a kid. I'm acting in movies, I'm painting, I'm playing in bands. But anyway, to clock a defining moment in which the awareness of wanting to pursue it professionally. I think when I was 21, I was playing in punk bands. I felt that I had a sort of interest in doing something different. And so I sort of transitioned into stage acting and civic theater and decided pretty quickly I want to do this as a career. And that eventually took me to Los Angeles in pursuing, stage and film acting. But yeah, I think I was 21. I was kind of at a crossroads where I was like, I can keep doing music. I can keep, doing and it felt really black and white for me. The further I go on this journey, the more I realize it's kind of all connected. I'm playing in bands again. I'm kind of, doing what I want creatively. But yeah, I'd say 21, I really had a sort of a crossroads moment where I was like, what do I want to pursue? And I think the black and white thinking led me to being like, okay, well, I have to not do bands. I have to do acting. And it led me here. But once again, I now feel like I'm just sort of open to anything and everything creatively that's inspiring to me.
Like a full circle moment.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think the full circle moment came, within the past 3 years, is sort of realizing I don't have to just do one thing. So again, it sort of came in different stages in life. In childhood, these are all the things I wanted to be. As a 21-year-old, it was like, okay, I'm going to transition from the bands I've been playing in since I was a teenager to being a serious actor to, fairly recently kind of realizing I can really, the name of the game for me is doing what I want creatively, doing what drives me. And I think that also puts me in a position in which I can, when I'm inspired, I can give more, I can give what is needed to the material. Because a lot of the acting hustle is, especially early on, you kind of take what you can get. And in doing that, you might not be taking jobs that resonate creatively. And I think that's a, that has potential to be a disservice to yourself and everyone involved. I don't want to, I don't think, I want to be careful with how I portray that. I haven't like it hasn't been a negative experience. I'm just saying I now, appreciate being in the position in which I have the privilege to
Yeah, I
use
know
to
what you mean.
sort of what I'm pursuing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It just means you can have your cake and eat it too. It just means like the variety you can, because I mean, like there are people out there that obviously have their 9 to 5 jobs and that works for them, but it doesn't work for everybody. To get up and go and do the same thing every day, it doesn't work for everyone. So the variety is the spice of life. I know it's a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason.
Yeah, I hear that, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
well put.
Yeah, awesome. So what do you play?
In the band, I play
Mm.
guitar.
Oh,
I play
cool.
guitar and I sing, and I've got a couple other projects in incubation
Nice.
that I'm also playing guitar and singing in.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. So what can you tell us about Lookout and what it was that made you want to tell this story?
Yeah, Lookout is, what can I tell you about it? It's a sci-fi adventure, really creepy and dark. I want to be careful. Is this going to come out post? Should I avoid spoilers?
Yeah. Yeah, you can, yeah, I would. Yeah, it's gonna come out week of release, but yeah, it doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. It's hard to give the clearest handle without spoiling.
Mm,
But I will say it is a multi-dimensional story with a lot going on. I'd say the characters have a lot of heart. There's a lot happening interpersonally that's sort of brought in context into the mix, which I think makes for just an interesting ride through this really horrifying experience for Megan's character, and a lot of other characters involved as well. So again, it's hard to be cryptic and non-specific and not spoil, but that's, that's the lay of the land. I think in terms of a movie experience, you'll see a lot of breathtaking natural beauty,
mm. Especially,
juxtaposed with a lot of horrifying science fiction elements as well.
awesome. Yeah, especially shooting on location. That's just beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it was a treat being out there in Arizona and shooting. It really kind of felt like a camping trip. We had our own cabins and our own and we were all staying really close to location. Everything kind of felt like we just sort of dominated this whole corner of Arizona during principal photography, and just sort of were able to freely travel from place to place without too much strain. It was great, and it was really beautiful.
Awesome. So what does it mean for you to be a storyteller and tell stories in this way, whether it's in music or in film?
Great question. What does it mean? I think in my experience and opinion, human creativity, however it manifests in your life, is kind of the most powerful gift we've all been endowed with. And I think however that shows up for you is worth honoring, whether it's, I don't know, child rearing, just like, and it doesn't have to be I'm painting a picture, I'm making a movie. For me, it happens to be painting pictures and making movies and playing guitar. And I think what it means to honor that and to follow that honestly, and to give yourself to that in a pure way, to have the privilege to do so, is to, again, honor that, like, that 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 creative force endowed within us. I think it's necessary. I mean, truly, I think it's bad for me to deny myself the opportunity when it's available. I think it's like, it's harmful to 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 isolate from the need to create. And in doing projects and pieces of art that are aligned with with the way you're creatively calibrated, I think is like the ultimate way of honoring that. But again, I think it can manifest in a million different ways for a million different people. I think gardening is deeply creative. So yeah, I mean that feels like a profound question. I feel like did I do justice in my my answer, you know?
You absolutely did. Do you have any memories from filming Lookout that stand out to you? Something you won't forget?
Oh yeah, countless. I think one kind of funny experience was, for whatever reason, there was like a lot of bees on set, and they would just sort of harass us, especially when we're eating. And I don't remember anybody getting stung. They were just present, and they would just like be there and in our space. And it's like, okay, don't swat it or it'll sting you. So kind of like blowing at them. But there's a lot of, again, I don't want to spoil, but as you might imagine, there was some fake blood used on the project. And you may or may not know, fake blood is often like a fructose or a sugar is used
Hmm.
as ingredient in making fake blood. So in the times in which you were covered in fake blood, or fake blood was being used, which again was pretty often, there were a lot of bees present, and it added to the horror of the experience. Again, countless memories and a lot of just really special interpersonal moments, and getting to know Megan, and getting closer with Jack and Rebecca, who run Jackrabbit Studios. Working with Stefan again, and Corey. Stefan Colson's the director. Corey is a producer on the project, and Sam DP'd, and I had the privilege of working with all three of them on our previous movie. And yeah, so just it's again, it was like a family outing, like a camp trip, and a much needed break from Los Angeles for me, and it just felt in every conceivable way like a nurturing creative collaboration between people who I really feel privileged to work with and know.
Awesome. Yeah, Megan mentioned about the bees. There was one particular scene where one was like hovering by her ear, or like it wasn't in the shot, but it was like an intense emotional scene, and she didn't want to break character. But yeah, that's what she's that's what she mentioned. So I'm
That's
sure there
awesome.
are loads of those.
Like a true pro, she used it. That's great.
Yeah, yeah, she just didn't want to break, which is great. So what does the future hold for Lookout, and do you feel that there's more stories to tell within the world that you created?
Oh, great question. What does the future hold for Lookout? Well, we'll see. It drops in a few days at this point. I
Hmm.
know it's best circuit right now. I think we got some nominations we're really proud of. I think both Megan and I got best lead and supporting actor nominations, and I think we won best director of best cinematography in Texas, which is exciting. I'm not sure if we're going to do more fests. I hope we do. I hope we keep on that circuit. I hope people enjoy it as much as we enjoyed making it. And I absolutely think that there's a world where this continues. I think that there's real potential for a sequel. Again, I don't want to spoil anything, but I do feel that the world that we've sort of created absolutely has potential to for more stories to unfold within. And I would love to see a sequel, and I
Awesome,
think that's very possible.
wonderful. So what are you hoping the audience will take away from Lookout when they see it?
I hope people have a fun ride. I hope people enjoy the journey. I hope people take away a again, it's hard to pinpoint one specific area of interest in terms of what you're learning from the experience. I think because there are so many elements, there's like an A story, a B story, a C story. I want there to be a sense of satisfaction in all of those stories being tied up, and I want for people to take away a sense of empowerment for the underdog, especially. I think that in many ways this is a classic story of someone who isn't perceived as being able to succeed or being able to amount to much by their oppressors, to be a little hyperbolic about it. Um, yeah, I'd love for the story to be, to the takeaway for them to see that they're that 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 the little guy can be the hero too, you know.
Awesome. Are there any other aspects that of the industry that you'd like to pursue, like theatre, like going back to the theatre, or like continuing on your journey in music?
Yeah, it's funny. I actually was in a play. I played a lead role in a play called Red Light Winter during production of Lookout. And I was flying back and forth doing blocks of weekends, Friday to Sunday in the play, flying back to Arizona, shooting all week with no days off, which sounds like a complaint, but it was actually like exactly what I wanted to be doing. It felt like the ultimate expression of creative energy, and especially at the time I really needed something as fulfilling as that experience. So yeah, I'm absolutely open to more theater. I think live performance theater and music is the most immediately moving as a performer. For me, I really, you just can't get the same. You're creating these once in a lifetime moments that you could never reassemble in the same way ever again. Even if you hit the mark and you said the thing and you played it with the same intention, every night it's going to be a different communication with an audience. And I think the same goes not only for theater but for music and in film. I think they're just such different mediums that, like, it's interesting because you're creating that once in a lifetime moment, but you're creating it in order to be experienced and appreciated over and over and over again. And I think what's beautiful is, in a similar way as you'll never get the same experience again in theater, you're going to affect everyone differently. um, in film, they're going to have a different experience with the material, uh, over and over and over again every time you watch it. So I just want to keep remaining in a state of openness for what's creatively inspiring to me, and I am definitely going to continue doing film acting and stage acting, and the band's definitely going to continue. We're about to tour tomorrow, and yeah, I'm looking forward to coming out with this other project. So yeah, just this is having the privilege of juggling sort of full-time creative pursuits is definitely, so long as, again, I have the privilege to continue, I'm going to keep doing that.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, good luck with the tour.
Thank
Um,
you.
how many shows are you doing? Do you know yet?
This is actually it's like weird. We're chunked up into a couple brief tours. We're doing like a 4-day California, and then we're going to take 4 days off, and then we're going to fly to Salt Lake City and do a Nevada so we're doing kind of like two mini tours, kind of
Nice.
broken up. But yeah, it's perfect timing and perfect for schedule, and yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Thank you.
Awesome. That sounds great. Yeah, my best friend is a lead singer and guitarist for a band for a new metal band in the UK.
Awesome. That sounds cool.
They
What's the
do
band?
Spider Redundant, and he's got another one called Breacher.
Okay, cool. I gotta look them up.
Yeah, they've got some stuff online. Yeah,
Cool.
they're awesome.
Sounds
With the popularity of streaming services like Netflix and Tubi and Apple TV, etc., what do you think the future of cinema is?
the future of cinema.
Mm, in the
I
streaming digital age.
I think it's undeniable that the industry is changing rapidly. It's undeniable the way we consume media and the way we interact with entertainment. And I think streaming services have an important place in our ability to consume entertainment rapidly. Um, but I also think that having the experience in a movie theater will never match having Netflix on at the house.
Mm,
So I think no matter what, the show going experience at the movie theater will always be, it'll always be, it'll never go away. And I hope it doesn't become sort of, I guess it's tough because it already kind of feels a little like a novelty. Yeah, I don't have a crystal ball. I really don't. I think I've agonized in the past over trying to anticipate not even just industry stuff, but just stuff in my own journey. And I've realized it doesn't really do me a lot of good to like fear the future. And I know your question wasn't centered around fear. I think that's just what my knee jerk is, because I think if you would have asked me that question 3 years ago, I would have been fearful about the I don't know, what does that mean for my career? What does that mean for my future as an actor? And I know it's undeniable that things are rapidly changing, new media and especially artificial intelligence. I mean, I can only guess as to where that's going to lead the future of entertainment in general. But I'm not. I think no matter what, you can never simulate the experience in a meaningful way of going to the movie theater. Same with like going and seeing a rock show or a punk show or whatever. I think like in the age of being inclined to being incentivized to stare into your phone for days on end, I think real life experiences become more and more appealing, at least for me. And and I just think that there will always be a need for it. And again, I would argue that the need is increasing more and more. And I hope it does, because I want to keep doing all this stuff. But I'm not sure I don't know exactly what the future holds, but I'm available for it, and I'm looking forward to learning how I can best fit into that future.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and it opens up a lot of doors for work on streamers, doesn't it, for you as an actor?
Yeah, it's interesting because you're right. It's like everything is changing, and there's concerns as to whether or not human talent will be needed in the coming years. But yeah, it
It'll
also
always be needed, I think.
yeah, I guess I'm more thinking about the AI thing. And again, this is the thought that I just feel like wherever that's going, based on the tip of the iceberg we're seeing today, it feels almost limitless in what it can conjure up in terms of audiovisual experience. And I guess when I say, are humans even going to be needed, I look at even these AI short films that, some people have a hard time distinguishing the difference between whether or not they're actual humans playing these roles. If this is AI in its origin or in its very early infancy, I can only imagine that in 10 years, it's able to generate entire cinematic experiences, entire feature films, uh, with just being given a prompt by a child potentially. I don't know. I mean, again, this is sort of unintentionally a doom and gloom vision of where this takes us, because again, in that future, it seems to me that actors aren't necessary. But again, I don't have any control over that, and I'm looking forward to finding out how I could continue to be of service as an artist and as an actor, whatever new media and AI and cinema holds for our future.
Awesome, absolutely. So what you're working on next that you can tell us about?
We're doing a Jackrabbit Media, the company that did Lookout. We are doing another project together called Split, which
Nice.
is it's in its first couple passes of the script, and that'll be a horror that takes place in a bowling alley, and kind of a love, like a Tinder date gone wrong. Like a couple goes to this bowling alley, horror ensues, and all the images that come to mind when you think bowling alley horror, the neon lights, maybe a limb being replaced with a bowling pin, or a head being rolled down a bowling alley. So that's next for Jackrabbit, and Spot or Not, which is Megan Cataskio's short film, is doing the film fest rounds and coming out, I think, in September as well. I had a small role on that, and yeah, it was a pleasure. That's a big part of this journey. It's like you'll meet people along the way who just jive creatively, and Megan was one of those people. And I think a couple weeks after we wrapped Lookout, we were both in LA, and she hits me up. She's like, "Do you want to be in my short film?" And yeah, I just think I'm just looking forward to seeing what happens with that, and potentially working with her and her husband Jaden again on something else in the future. Like, who knows, you know? And Brandon Cahala, the writer of Lookout, and I are in pretty routine communication, and we're always talking about what the next project might be. I did a short film with him that that, if I'm understanding correctly, is in post right now and is going to come out in the coming months as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So that'll
Awesome.
be next.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
Jackrabbit are cool. I did an interview a few months ago for Cannibal Mukbang. That is another one
cool.
that they produced,
Yeah.
and they're incredible. They're an incredible boutique filmmaking production house. Is awesome.
I couldn't agree more. I have nothing but respect for Jack and Rebecca and Marc. Yeah, working with Jackrabbit has been a real privilege and like an awesome learning experience. I just see them as they make things happen. It's like Lookout, for example, we had been like, we had all the pieces assembled and talent attached and everybody ready to go for like almost, I might be exaggerating, but it felt like almost a year. It was months and months and months where we were all ready to go on this movie. And they kept saying, you know, we're just waiting on the green light from the location in Arizona. There was a lot of red tape. I think it's like a historic or it's like protected land. And there's just a ton of paperwork and red tape that they had to go through that, again, took months and months and months. And then finally they got the green light, and it was right before winter. It was like, I mean, like weeks before it was about to snow. And so they're like, let's do, you know, it was literally like the drop of a hat. Like, are you ready to fly next week and do this? And yeah, nothing but respect for them and being able to make stuff work. I mean, I think, you know, another project might not have been able to get off the ground in a matter of a couple of weeks, given such short notice. But yeah, they're an example of a company that has a great taste, and knows how to execute. And again, that was a huge learning experience for me. I think often too, as artists, there's a feeling of needing to wait for the perfect set of circumstances and the perfect moment. And again, I just think there's so much value in taking advantage of what's in the now and what's being offered and what resources you have. And sometimes what comes out is greater than you could ever anticipate if you just say yes to what's in the now. And again, I think Jackrabbit is a shining example of saying yes to what they have and what they can do. And they do really great work and are a pleasure to work with.
Awesome. Yeah, they sound like an inspiring company to work with.
Yeah, and like a family company, their daughters are on. It's just an awesome experience. It's really nothing but positive things to say about working with them.
Awesome. So just finally, where can we find you online to keep up with everything you're doing?
Yeah, my Instagram is at Trent Culkin. That's probably that's like the sort of hub for it all. Yeah, I post my music stuff. I post whatever acting stuff is going on. I, you know, post the trailers for the movies and all that stuff. So yeah, connecting at Trent Culkin on Instagram is the best way. And I'm always happy to. I always really get a lot out of interacting. You know, if somebody has seen a movie or whatever, and they're you know, I keep an eye on DMs and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm always happy to connect with anybody that's interested. In fact, that's how we connect. I know we had a conversation.
Yeah, that's how we connected. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm happy to be here, Marc, and it's been a privilege to chat to you.
Yeah, awesome. Absolutely. What about your bands? And the one that's going on tour. The band that's going on tour.
The other projects are still in incubation. I'm going to be happy to announce them when we've got some shows on the books. The project that's touring right now is called Franks with an X. It's like a hardcore punk band. It might be a little unexpected, a lot of screaming and distorted guitar and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the band. And it's still a pretty new project. We've been gigging for like a year and a half, and have an EP and a demo out. But man, we've just like really hit the ground running and have just been playing nonstop. And I think the day's upon us where we, sort of take a break and put out the record and then look at tour for next year. But it's been so fun being back in punk bands and touring and playing shows all the time, and it's been a really cool journey. So yeah, if you're into hardcore punk, definitely check that out. But I don't fault you if that's not your thing.
No, it's definitely my thing. Yeah, I when I was younger, I would like do some roadie work for my friends' bands and that community in London. So yeah.
Oh, cool.
So I've heard like so many bands like Hiroshima, Jewel, Healthy Junkies, all sorts. Yeah, like Spider Redundant. They're not punk, but they're in that community. So yeah, it's awesome. I do like the harder
Cool.
side
Well, yeah,
of things.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we're hoping to visit London. Maybe next year we'll be in London. So maybe
Cool.
we'll link up if
All
we
right.
can make it.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. Well, thanks for taking the time. This has been wonderful. And I look forward to whatever you do next.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Mark. Have a great day.
And you, take care. Thank you.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. Please follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram for more content. Bye for now.
What do you want from me?
You have something that belongs to me.
The hell? I don't have what you want.
Enough! Give it to me now! Wow.
Shut up, Billy.
You show what you can do. I hear a siren. Maybe you were wrong about me. I'm dangerous and still. Why don't you give me a sign like the sea? Everybody thinks that I'm okay. Sometimes I think I am too. I'm on the outside looking in. I'm waiting for the shockwaves to begin. Oh, won't you let me hold you for one time? Just a rainy day in a London cafe. A London cafe. So give me one last serenade. Say to me, or swear at me till the night turns into day. And it was a shame when daylight faded, because we didn't notice at all.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.